Alright, Shalom. First of all, we want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders that taught us this truth. And they've all impeccably well. And Shalom to the Akim that's pushing this truth in sincerity across the four winds. And the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days, man. Alright, we are the Hebrew Israelites, prophesied of in the Bible, you know, the Holy Scriptures. And we come out here every week through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom and the rise of our kingdom, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the kingdom of Israel, man. Where we're going to be rulers over you heathen nations. You're going to be in slavery for a period of 1,000 years. But before all of this commences, right, we're going to have a time of great trouble upon the earth, man. Alright? And we know that we're in the last days. Why? Because the so-called white man is ruling the earth right now, man. Who is Esau Edom. That's his biblical name. And our biblical names are the Negroes, the Spanish and Native Americans. And as on the left here, you can see the names Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulon, right, Ephraim on down to the other nations, right? That's our biblical identity, and that's your Negroes, Spanish and Native Americans. So without further ado, we're going to get into the first scripture, man. A little will in this session is edifying.
Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1.
Right.
He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Right, so the scriptures say, measure thou the time diligently in itself, man. So we're meant to be measuring the things that are happening upon the face of the earth, man. We're supposed to be watching what's happening in politics, what's happening in countries throughout the four corners of the earth, watching the uproars of the people, right? Seeing that the time of the earthquakes, you know, throughout diverse earthquakes going throughout the four corners of the earth. These are all the signs and periods of the times that we're currently in, man. Because when you measure those things, it's telling you, it's basically giving you a prelude to what's going to happen next.
That's right.
Carry on, bro.
Can't. It says, and when thou shalt see part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right, so when you see certain things happening upon the face of the earth, right? Like for example, let's go into Venezuela. What's happening in Venezuela? There's turmoil, right? There's blackouts. There's a shortage of food, right? People are killing each other.
Grave robbers,
stealing gold off of dead people's bodies, all right? All of these things are signs to what's going to happen. What's going to happen? You know, the highest, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, is going to visit the earth which he made, man. Right? Our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he's on his way to come and visit the earth. What's he going to do? He's going to set up his people, right? The elect of you Negroes, Spanish and Native Americans, to be righteous rulers upon the face of the earth. But when he comes back, there's going to be great judgment that's going to happen upon the face of the earth.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Don't forget that.
it's going to be a hostile takeover. He's not going to come and run for office, right? He's not going to come and have talks with Donald Trump, all right, or the UK Parliament, and you know, see how we going to exchange rulership. That's not how it's going to happen, man. It's going to be a hostile takeover, man. It's going to be with force.
Like my man T'Challa did in the Black Panther. At the end of the movie, he's all sitting down having a meeting with his so-called white man. You know, and he's got vibranium, all the technology, and he's trying to make it. That's Yahweh Shai ain't gonna put on a suit and plead to Esau, man.
That's the same thing we saw with Superman. Remember when they put him in court?
Yeah.
He's on the podium.
He had handcuffs on.
Yeah. He on his podium with his garment on.
Where it says the Lord said he's going to plead with all flesh. It means he's going to come to the UN and have a meeting. That's by blood and death and destruction, man. That's why it said in Isaiah 63, who is this that coming from Edom, man?
That's right.
Dyed garments from Bosra. There's going to be a lot of blood spewing out here when the Lord comes back, man.
That's right.
To show you them Marvels, like I watched the Avengers, the anime ones, innit? I can't remember the villain's name, but he just came and he said, look, I want to bring you your leaders. Like, judge, he's pouring out pure judgment. You're just massacring me.
That's right.
That's what the Lord's coming to do, man.
Hey, they would not have me reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me. That's the spirit that the Lord is coming in, even with his own people, man. So how much more, you know, you heathens, you other nations, man?
Revelation chapter 1 and 7, and it says, It says, behold, he cometh for clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even
Right,
Psalm 1.
that's right. So those clouds, they're talking about what people called UFOs, man. That's talking about the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But what you got to take note of is the fact that them that pierced him and nailed him to the cross, all right, them Roman generals and Roman soldiers, right, the Lord is coming back to revenge himself, man, of those two people that pierced him, man, right? Which also proves what? Reincarnation, man. Because them men are going to be here, you know, they're not going to be about 2,000 years old walking on the earth, because reincarnation is a thing that's in the Bible, man, all right? So they're going to be here and they're going to pay for what they've done to our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right, so that proves that what? The Lord is coming back with a revengeful spirit, man. He's going to come back angry. You know, he's going to come back with the sword to wreak judgment upon the face of the earth, man.
That's right.
All right, that's the spirit that he's coming with, man.
Yeah.
All right, he ain't coming back with daffodils. He ain't coming back with no smooth spirit, you know, to tell you smooth things that you want to hear. He's coming back to wreak judgment, man. Right? That's what our Lord is about. He's a man of war, man. Come.
Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?
Right, so you got these Christians, right? They claim that they desire the day of the Lord, man. They claim that they want, you know, Jesus Christ to come back, so to speak, right? But they don't really want that, man, because if they knew what the Bible really entails and the true understanding of the scriptures, they would understand that they're not right with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. They don't even know his name. They don't know what he's about. They don't know what he's coming to do. They think he's coming back for all nations, man. All right? But when we read the scriptures, we can find out that he's coming for 1/3 of the nation of Israel, man. All right? And there'll be elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the world. All right? So even his own people, 2/3, are going to get, you know, cut off and die. All right? So if they really knew that, they would know that, all right, you got to get right with the Lord first, and then you're going to desire him to come back, man. That's why when we come into this truth, the more we learn, the more we want our Lord to come back, man, because with much wisdom is much grief.
Yep,
right?
yep,
We
yep.
really understand the truth, then you want the Lord to come back, man, and rescue you out of this hell. Come on, bro.
This is
A little bit more.
Yeah, get a little bit more.
It says the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Man, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. It's not going to be a beautiful day when the Lord comes back, man. Right? The scriptures say, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. There's going to be a lot of judgment before we get into the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. There's going to be a lot of darkness. There's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of turmoil. The scriptures say that you shall see dead bodies on the street as dung, man, as shit on the streets. So that just shows you the magnitude, right, of what's going to be happening when the Lord comes back. He ain't going to come back with a smile on his face. He's coming back to wreak war and judge people, man. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed. All right, so that's what we got to look forward to, man. All right, and we desire that day, man, because we understand that that day is going to lead unto our salvation.
Hey, earlier the brother mentioned about Venezuela, man. You know, the things that are happening in Venezuela, it's coming to a city near you fast, man. You know, where there's going to be famine. Over there in Venezuela, they're looting zoos, man, for animals, man.
Yeah.
You know, killing zoo animals, killing them and eating them, man.
even in there was one time a clip surfaced in Venezuela of them in prison, and the guy was eating another guy's ear, man, alive. The actual the guy was alive, just low on energy, and the guy was shooting his ear.
And there was another guy eating his own fingers as well, man, in a Venezuelan prison. He was eating his own fingers. Do you understand what level you have to be of hunger to look at your own fingers and desire to eat them? You gotta be through, man. But that's what the guy was doing. He was eating himself and consuming himself. Right? That's the state of the people in Venezuela right now, man. And as the brother said earlier, they're actually robbing graves. They're robbing the gold off of people in the graves, man, because I think it was back in the 50s, they used to bury people with all their gold on. All right, because they could afford to do that at that time. So now they're digging up all of those old remains so they can sell the gold. All right, showing you that gold is real money.
Hey, but to be honest, you know this time coming, the scripture says, neither the silver or gold shall profit them in the day of destruction.
That's right.
Because you know what? Time gonna come. You know what you actually might say? I have 2 coins of gold, and then you might have some food. You be like, look, I ain't even fuck about your gold, bro. I want food. Because that time, food and water and things of substance that you can take in gonna be of value, man.
Yeah.
That's what you saw in Book of Eli, you know. But anyway,
Hey, Scripture says, "Richest profit not in the day of wrath."
Yeah.
You know.
that's right. This is what you were saying though. The guy eating his fingers. This is coming. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 58. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for the very hunger of bread and thirst of water.
Come on, so that's prophecy. That's biblical prophecy, man. You know, and look, Venezuela, they're going through that hell right now as we speak, man. That's happening right now. People are eating people right now as we speak. People are looting through rubbish to try and find scraps to eat so they can live on to the next day, man. That's happening right now. But you know what? That's coming to a city near you, man. That's coming to America. That's coming to the UK. That's coming to all places throughout the four corners of the earth, man. It's not only going to be specifically Venezuela, it's going worldwide, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, there was even a documentary on the BBC talking about how they have to actually eat rotten meat.
Yeah.
All right, and the bits of meat that they are, it's all the uncomely parts, like all the fat.
Yeah.
You know, that's being sold over there.
Yeah.
All right, and they ain't got, you know, they keep having like what they say that they have 10 electricity cutouts a day.
Yeah.
So they ain't got the refrigerator storage to be putting the meat in to keep it good.
I was just going to say,
You know?
one time I actually saw a clip of when they actually brought some meat to a town in Venezuela, and it was just like dead corpses of animals, obviously skinned, without no refrigerator. It's just all blood and it's rotten, you know? But I have one, this is Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince shall stand for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered.
Right, so that's that time we're coming to right now, a time like never before, man. Right, so if you read, you know, in the book of Kings, and you read the times of the famine and the dreadful things that have happened upon the face of the earth, the dreadful things that the Lord have brought about, right, in the past, what it's now saying in Daniel 12 is that all of those, this time that's coming is going to eclipse all of those terrible times, man. All right. It's not going to compare to those previous times. And those times, when you read them, it's actually very fearing, man.
Yeah.
Right? They're very fearful things. When you read them and you really imagine the things that were happening, you think, how can it eclipse that, man? So that's why you got to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man, because that you don't get caught up in all that madness that's going to be going down.
I've got that King's account.
Oh, yeah,
after the brother.
And it says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation.
Such as never since there was a nation, man. So there's going to be no nation that's ever eclipsed, gone through the things that are going to be happening real soon, man.
And because it's going to be what? Throughout the whole earth.
Yeah.
It isn't going to be like one town or country that's catching hell.
Yeah.
Like, you know how now Venezuela's Venezuela's
You heard what's going on over there?
No, now it's going to be everywhere, man.
Everywhere's going to go through that judgment, man. It's going to be a worldwide thing. And that's why people are going to be subject to take the RFID chip, man. Because they're going to be in those desperate situations and they're going to have nothing to fall back on. Because they don't have the truth. Right. They don't have Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They don't have the names, man. So when Esau presents them with that option of taking the chip, it's going to seem like a great idea. Because they have nothing else left. But when we get presented with that idea, we're going to be like, fuck that, man. Because we know the prophecies of the Bible. We understand that, no, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is the way to go, man. And you can't trust in Esau's system.
Yep. This is 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver.
Man, the ass's head sold for 80 pieces of silver, man. Right? So like what the brother was saying in Venezuela, they were selling rotten meat, man. That's likened onto that. Something that was just a head, that's like the most uncomely part of the actual, of the beast, right? Now, the price of it is risen, man, because meat is scarce.
Yeah.
You know? So they'll probably sell in the bugs, you know, the head, you know, the tail, you know, all the undesirable bits of the meat, man, now become worth something because you got a storage of meat and storage of food in general.
Yeah. Well, that's basically an ancient example of hyperinflation. You know, the most uncomely parts of the animal, you know, is being sold for 400 score pieces of silver, man. You know?
And even like in slavery, what did Esau give our people? He gave us the most undesirable bits of meat, man. He gave us the chicken feet, you know, he gave us the pork, the hoofs, cow foot, you know, all of these things, you know, the cow head.
Even ox tail and ribs, man.
Yeah.
Really, bro.
Gives out all that.
Yeah, which is intestine.
Yep.
And bare corn, you get? Oh, Jake love corn.
Hey, the tongue as well, man.
Penis as well, cut the
Penis, yep. All of those things that you're not really meant to eat that, but that's what Esau was giving our people, man. Alright? And they still have those customs unto this day, man, because that's what they used to.
Well, guess what? In this time, you ain't gonna have no.
You ain't even have that.
You ain't gonna have that.
You ain't gonna have no. Bro, in that time, man, if you tell a Jake he can have the ribs, he'll be good, man. Hey, yo, yeah. You know what I mean? You know, it's a spicy bread. You know? But now this time coming, you ain't gonna get that over, man.
It happened in the past, man.
Yeah.
70 AD when Israel was being banished from the land of Israel, fled into the wilderness, the wilderness.
Masada.
Yeah, Masada, man. The word Masada means fortress. Israel was hiding in the hilltops where Esau built a bridge. The Romans were building a bridge to try and get to them. And they were scarce of food, man. They was eating all the grass after they went through that. They ate all their clothing and shit, their belts, belt buckles and shit like that. After they got through that, they went through each other, man. It was a harsh time, man. That shit's coming back again. Tenfold, it's gonna be magnified, man. 2/3 of Israel, man.
And the fourth part of a cap of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver.
So that was shit. That was selling for 5 pieces of silver, man.
Yeah.
Alright? Wrong, bro.
Because you guess what? Even though shit has nutrients, man.
Nutrients, yeah.
You know, like cow shit gets used as fertilizer.
It's got bare grass in it.
Yeah, man. So you know, it's funny that same pigeon probably found some bread he's eating on, you know. He'll eat this shit, man. That's just coming back.
And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, "Help, my lord, O king."
Help.
And he said, "If the Lord Yahweh do not help thee, when shall I help thee?"
Yeah, niggas gonna be screaming, "Where female at?" and that thing.
Help!
Where female at?
Help.
Help! I ain't gonna do nothing. I can't do nothing for you. The Lord judged me. What am I gonna do?
He said, out of the barn floor or out of the wine press? So the king was being sarcastic. You know, what? How am I gonna help you, man? What, out of the wine press? What, the barn floor? There ain't nothing there, man. You know?
You can't help.
She said, "Help."
Help.
Help. And the king said unto her, "What aileth thee?" And she answered, "This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow."
Hey, so, you know, these two women, they made a pact that, you know, because we ain't got no food, we basically gonna eat our children, man, eat our sons. So we gonna eat yours today, and then mine, you know, we'll cook him up tomorrow, season him up, you know, and eat him tomorrow.
Man, I was eating that like without seasoning. Right?
Yeah, but it didn't have no seasoning.
They didn't have time for that.
That seasoning would have been eaten already, man.
They don't eat a seasoning. The daughter just got a bag full of cayenne pepper and garlic powder and drank that with water.
Drunk it with water.
Yeah. Some coriander and garlic seasoning.
Look at the seasoning. So we boiled my son.
No, you see how the conversation just continues? Yeah, so we boiled my son.
Like it was an everyday thing.
And you gotta think for a mother, you know, and especially back in that day, mother, they would have really loved their children.
They would have
man.
died for it.
You know, they would have died. But in that time, they weren't on that, man. Right? They were hungry. The feeling of hunger will change up your whole character, man. Change up your brain form.
I got precept on that. Lamentations 4:9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger.
Right, so it's best to die with the sword than to die with through hunger, man.
Yeah, man.
Because when you're hungry, that's a slow and painful, excruciating death, man. Alright? That's a drawn out hell, man. You know, you're being sustained for days by your body. Your body is eating itself from the inside, man. You know, slowly. That's painful, man.
It takes like a couple of weeks to die of starvation.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, if you don't have water, you die in about a week and a half.
Yeah.
But if it's just straight up, you have water supply.
Yeah.
But you ain't got no food. It take you like 8 weeks to die.
It's even worse.
So that's drawn out.
Yeah. Hey, it's like when you watch those old